Hey everyone, this is Maha here, and I'm just coming on because it's been a while since I have talked about who I am on my Instagram, and I have so many new people who are following, and I want to thank everybody for following me here. And I am Maha Musa. I'm an independent international childbirth educator and mentor, and I've been the founder of EmbodyBirth and BellydanceBirth since 1997, which is now 26 years of working in the birthing field. And I love being an independent voice because I can speak the truth that I know to be true on an embodied somatic level from my own births, and I can be a voice for mothers and babies who may not be able to speak up in this crazy world that we have today. So I've birthed 3 babies. My boys are now 22 and 25, and my daughter 14. I had my daughter at home when I was 46 years of age, a beautiful water lotus birth, and she's now 14. I just turned 60 a couple of months ago. So I've been at this for some time. I've walked my talk. I have birthed as nature intends, and I have taught from that place. But not for women to necessarily do what I did, but to find their true voice and vision for their birthing journey, which is also part of our mothering and parenting journey in the world. And I have also written an amazing world first book on belly dance for birth called Dance of the Womb, and a follow-on video series, Dance of the Womb, also award-winning. So my cultural roots being Palestinian Lebanese with a little bit of Indian and Egyptian, we have the dance of the womb, or what is often called belly dancing in the West. But it's not the belly dancing that you see in a restaurant or in the cabaret. It's not that style of belly dancing. It's oriental dance for birth. It's the deep heart connected feminine aspect of the dance, which is about finding that improvisational, intuitive dance that lives inside of your womb with your baby. And it can also be done for conception as well. So dance is universal, and every culture has their dance, and we in the Middle East have this beautiful art of oriental dance, and we apply it in my work to conception, pregnancy, and for birth. And a lot of people will ask me, when you do these movements of the belly dance birth, do you actually do them in labor? And I say, yes, we practice these dance movements when we are pregnant. So we find the energy of the dance that lives within us, connecting us to our baby and our body and our wisdom. And then we just allow these movements to be generated through the body. So they are instinctive, intuitive movements of the womb. So there are no steps to follow. There's no choreography. As we say in Embodied Birth, you can't choreograph birth. So we don't have any choreography in my program. What I want women to do is to go down and investigate and excavate through the layers of their body to meet the rhythms and the language of the womb that they can access and activate to activate the wisdom of birth. So when we do these beautiful movements of the circle and the spiral and the figure 8 and the hands and the arm movements and the chest movements, all of these movements allow us to slow down and connect to the rhythms that live within our body with our baby. And as we move into these rhythms, we create energetic and emotional expansion and spaciousness within the body. Because slowing down means that I can listen to the language of my body, of my wisdom, of what my baby is speaking to me. If we go too fast, we can't hear the language of the womb. It becomes more of an intellectual process up here. And as we say in embodied birth, the baby doesn't come out of your head. The baby comes through your pelvis, through your vagina. We need to get down to earth. We become grounded in order to transcend and rise consciousness, to raise consciousness. So in the expansion, we listen to the language, the vocabulary of the womb for birthing, and then we are able to connect in to what we need, what our baby needs, what we envisage for us. Not the language of the expert on the outside, not the language of the system, not the language of the doctor or the obstetrician or the midwife or even the doula. We are finding that language that lives within us, and that language will guide us. As we say in EmbodyBirth, my story. We all carry our story, which is part of the wisdom of the mystical experience, this rite of passage experience of birth. My story is not your story. Your story is not my story. Although birth is universal, we each have our individual journey to walk, to dance on this path. This is a ceremonial initiation rite of passage. And in this initiation, again, we open and we expand into what does the universe want to show me? What does the story want to show me? What does the energy want to do in my body? How does the energy of birth want to move through my body? How does awareness want to move through my body? What is it that I need to connect to? What is it that I need to let go of? All of these things are part of the excavation of the embodiment of the dance of the womb. So as I was saying, I've been teaching for 26 years. I do online mentoring. I was doing an in-person 4-day EmbodyBirth educator certification program, which is now all online. And I would love for anybody who wants to come and teach the real sacred feminine language of birth to come and do the certification. You don't have to be a doula or a midwife or a doctor or, a childbirth educator, although you will have the language of birth to assist you to understand how these embodied mindful movements work. But this is for anybody who wants to have an understanding of the sacred possibility of what birth gives us and gifts to the world. So EmbodyBirth is a very, very special training program. It is the missing link in childbirth education. It is the poetism of birth, embodied, personalized, unique to you and your baby, your family, your community. And as we move through birth in this way, when we are autonomous, when we are sovereign, when we are responsible for our birth at the foundations, and we are stable and we are anchored and we are grounded, then we rise that consciousness. And so it's very, very important that we do the deep work preparation. And really we should do this preparation even before we conceive our babies, because then we are going into the experience with that awareness, with that expansion, with our eyes wide open, with our hearts open, with our bodies ready to receive the experience and receive our babies in the hands and arms of love. So EmbodyBirth is a very, very powerful program. And I have taught all over the world, from China to India to the US to New Zealand, Australia, Japan, and online to many, many women. We nearly have now 30 teachers in Vietnam, all done this work online. We've got some women coming in from the Philippines. A lot of women from the East really, really resonate with the EmbodyBirth program because it connects us to an ancient lineage, an ancient language of birth that is actually universal and unchanged for tens of thousands of years. But in this modern day, what we are seeing is women are being conditioned to believe the language of the so-called externalized expert, above and beyond their own expertise. And that's what EmbodyBirth is asking of you, to recognize that you are the expert of birth. You know your body, you know your baby, you know birth implicitly, and that lives inside your womb. So we have to, through the dance of the womb, access this knowledge. And many of you know I always say there are 3 things that we birth with: my body, my baby, and my innate primal wisdom. That's it for physiological birth. And in that place, the sacredness unravels. As someone said the other day through the dance, we are playing into sacred geometry. So also don't get caught up and conditioned by the biological age that you are. If you are having a cycle, my belief is if you are healthy and well, your partner is healthy and well, if you want to go down the natural road of conception, you must clean up your body, know what it is that you need nutritionally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, psychically. It's not just a physical manifestation of creating a baby. There are many, many bodies that dance in this conception journey. So whatever age you are, there is always possibility. Always possibility. Of course, as we get older, there are challenges over 45, if you are that age. But you've got to do the deeper work. You've got to do that deeper work. But listen to your instincts, listen to your intuition first and foremost, and build a strong, stable foundation for birth preparation. So yes, if your wife is still having cycles, then she can get pregnant. And I work with women trying to conceive who are of that older age group, and who are called that terrible derogatory language of geriatric. I talk the language of possibility. What is possible for me and my partner and my journey in this life? So I just wanted to share that with you all, and let you know that you can get in touch with me, that I do consultations, that I work online with women, that I have my EmbodyBirth certification training, educator training, and any questions, reach out. And as I said, I'm 60 now. I'm very blessed to have been working in this arena for 26 years, nearly 3 decades, 3 beautiful children, and so much wisdom to share with you all. And get in touch if you need to, and I look forward to hearing from you. And as we say in EmbodyBirth, Namaste. Lots of love. Ciao.